So that's why we have a forever free plan for those growing companies. Up to 100 shipments are free. And then business grows, the scale also grows with the business.
Hello and welcome to the eCommerce podcast. We believe that there is more than enough content focused on e-commerce marketing and not enough content celebrating the real heroes of e-commerce, those running the operation. Each week, we find and interview an e-commerce operations expert to share the secrets behind how some of this industry's most exciting businesses are run. I'm your host, Norbert Strappler, the CEO of SyncSpider.
Hello and welcome to another eCom Ops podcast after this summer break. Today I'm happy to have Irina here. Hey, Irina.
Yeah. Hi, Norbert.
Hey.
Happy to be here.
Yeah, great to have you. Irina is working for TrackMage, a company that gives you the real-time tracking of all your global shipments. But Irina, best way, introduce yourself and give us a bit more infos about TrackMage.
Okay, definitely. My name is Irina Poddubnaia. I'm from Bulgaria, and I'm the founder of TrackMage.com. So this is a tool that helps e-commerce entrepreneurs provide the best post-purchase experience for the customers. And definitely it involves a lot of shipment tracking, customer notifications, and other stuff that helps with customer support. Right now we are we've worked with various businesses. Like my favorite kind of business that TrackMage is really helpful in is creator e-commerce, where there is like this massive demand that the e-commerce brand has to handle. This is where the solution shines, really, because it cuts the customer support costs up to 70%, and then it also gets additional sales on autopilot. So this is the essence of what TrackMage is for and what it does for e-commerce entrepreneurs.
That's really cool. But how did you get first into e-commerce?
Oh, yeah, that's a very exciting story. And it starts in China in 2014. So we were young and ambitious, and we moved to China without knowing Chinese, without knowing anything about e-commerce. This was the first business where we started. So we decided if we wanted to find the best products, why not go to the source? That was the thinking. So we moved to China, to Guangzhou, and ran a fulfillment center for our e-commerce brands for 2.5 years there. It was quite an uneven journey, I would say, because, again, it was the first business where we started. It was in a foreign country. We didn't know the language. But somehow, with automation and the modern technology, we were able to make it work. We didn't know Chinese, but we actually used the auto translators to communicate with all the suppliers, and it worked.
What a journey!
Yeah. So the thing is, it's not as complex as it looks. The main thing that we realized when we came to China is that the business is not about the suppliers; it's about the customers. And then we had to learn all the marketing, all the sales, all the other stuff that makes the business tick.
Cool. Yeah. On your LinkedIn, you say, imagine real-time tracking of all your global shipments. Then think bigger. That's TrackMage.
Yep.
What's the bigger aspect?
It's bigger just because it's not just about tracking the shipments. It's about creating the whole experience. Mm-hmm. Because, again, if we approach this holistically, it's not just about the shipment tracking. It's also fulfillment. It also is customer support. And it also is marketing. Essentially, everything that happens after the purchase is marketing or remarketing to the same customer. And this is the most forgiving and the most, the cheapest audience you can get. Those guys already bought from you. And then you just need to, make at least some effort, because most of the businesses that we approach, they literally have nothing after the purchase. The person presses the buy button, they get an order confirmation, and that's it. Nothing happens after that. So then when it comes to shipment tracking, the brand also needs to have the visibility of all the packages and prevent the problems before they even happen. Because sometimes what happens is that the supplier whom you bought the product from, for example, if this is a drop shipping model, where you don't actually have the product and you have a third-party supplier. The supplier, you bought the product from them, but then a week passes and nothing happens. So in this case, the system has to notify you that okay, you need to reach out to that supplier and ask if they are going to ship the goods or not, and buy from some other source if they don't. Mm-hmm. So again, it helps prevent all those customer support issues as well, because imagine you don't take any action, and in 3 weeks, your customer comes back to you and says well, come on, where is my package? And give me a refund, bad review, something other than that. So it's just this visibility allows you to control this process versus just wait until it happens and to put out the fire. So that's
okay.
Yeah.
And how do you solve that? So what does the customers can expect when they sign up for TrackMage? How can you help them to achieve this goal?
Yeah. So we help them with various tools that they can integrate into their store. Our main integrations currently are Shopify and WooCommerce, but we also have integrations through Zapier and Integrately with other systems that don't have that sophisticated fulfillment functionality or order management functionality. What I'm talking about is systems like ClickFunnels or some other funnels software where you literally have only the page with buy buttons, a lot of marketing stuff, but nothing for the fulfillment, for the shipment tracking, for order processing, none of that. So TrackMage acts as this hub that replaces that functionality for the system. So what happens is that after the person signs up, they configure their tracking page. A tracking page is this thing that customers get in emails, and they get redirected after the purchase to actually track the package and to understand where the package is getting to them. So first, what you do is when you sign up to TrackMage, you customize the look and feel of your tracking page. If you are a fortunate Shopify seller, we have AI based system that customizes the tracking page for you. So you don't even have to do anything. You just sign up and oh my God, it already looks like my store. What happens then? You configure email notifications that come after the fact. So the typical flow is something the customer buys the product, they get an order confirmation from the system, and then when the package actually starts traveling, they get another email about your package is in transit. And the person can check the tracking page. What we found is this fascinating statistic is that when people are actually waiting for the product that they bought, they visit those pages 1 or 2 times per day. That's an enormous amount of traffic, yeah? And usually what happens is that in e-commerce stores with a typical setup, they get redirected to a DHL page or UPS page or some other carrier page. There is no indication of which store you bought it from, what the brand is, what the product is. It's just the tracking information and some not very beautiful UI where we have to figure out really where is the status or where is the other information. So yeah.
And can I also present other products or additional, or try to get some upsells there?
You got it, definitely. Because that's the idea. When they visit that page, they don't treat it as some marketing information. They treat it as transactional. And that's why customers actually check out those additional offers that you have to make and additional products that you place on those pages. So the idea is, so since you're already getting this free traffic from your own audience, why lose it to carriers? Why not just present it as part of your store? And that's essentially what a tracking page is. It's part of your store. It's not something external. Well, we don't we don't restrict any kind of integration. So there is a custom domain. You can replace your default pages. You can put some widgets. We have, by the way, we have the tracking pages widgets. If you have very customized theme, or if you don't want to use the whole thing, you can just take bits and pieces from the tracking page and put them on your thank you pages, on the other pages that you want to dedicate to this process. So the thing is, you get extra sales from those same customers without having to do anything. Like you don't have to pay for retargeting ads. You don't have to launch some kind of a marketing campaign or discounts. You just provide essential information they are already looking for, like where the package is, and you give them additional incentive to go to your social media, to check out our products, and this fascinating new deal that we launched just yesterday and just for you.
That's cool. That's nice. You also mentioned emails. What do you do with emails?
We have emails that are created based on the shipment status. So what we've noticed is that most brands, they don't have the ability to send the emails just in time. What I mean by just in time is when the package actually changes status. So what tends to happen is that the package gets to the post office, but then not all the carriers are the same. And sometimes the notification doesn't come to the customer in real time. So what we do is we send them an email like, okay, your package is available for pickup. How about you go to the post office and collect it? That's one of those emails that customers really appreciate because that's a reminder. Oh my God, package is here. Let me go check it. And then there is another email that typically in marketing stack is configured as something like, oh, in 2 weeks after the order was shipped, we send an email to ask them for a review. But what if the customer hasn't yet received the package? And what they're going to write in that review? Okay, I'm still waiting for the customs to clear. So we have an email that is tied to that status of delivered package. So once they actually get the product, then they ask for a review. And the review stays inside of TrackMage platform. So if it's a negative review, you can take action. You can definitely just find all those customers and reach out to them with some kind of apology or sincere, everything should be sincere. I'm saying the sincere apology. And then if the review is positive, so we have this functionality where you can import those reviews to the product pages, and you can ask the customers, that actually happens automatically if the review is positive, to share that review with the images on social media. So this way, you create additional traffic to those same products that the customers already bought. That's the beauty of remarketing and using your existing customers to promote the product and getting extra sales from existing customers.
I mean, I really like the approach, triggering an email after the package has been delivered, because when you buy something from a store, you typically get this review email too early, maybe, or too late. If
not at all.
Or not at all. Yeah, exactly. And the best time to get a review email actually is when the package has been delivered, because this is the wow effect. They're happy to get the product they bought. Of course, if the product is good, and we all know that we have good products. So, no, if the product is good, and I have the wow effect, I'm more willing to write a review than if I can't even remember that I bought the product, or if I don't have the product yet. So that the timing, in my opinion, absolutely perfect to trigger that. And I can configure everything in that email, so I can write my own texts or links. That's cool.
Yes. And we also have localization. So there is a conditional field, for example, that you can tie to shipping country. So, the destination country where the package is going to. So let's imagine that the package is going to Spain, and you just replace all the text with Spanish. And on the tracking page itself, the information can be displayed in various languages. We support around 19 currently, but we're always adding more and more. Mm-hmm. So the idea is to provide the experience tailored to this specific demographic. And even with that custom email, you can tie it to specific promotions that you ran. So let's imagine you have some kind of time-boxed promotion period where you're selling something like a drop of products that are very specific. You can set up a separate tracking page with a separate messaging, a separate set of products and offers, and just send it to them. So the idea is that you can create various experiences for different customer segments. And this way you can get even more loyal customers, just because they understand that everything just ties together. Everything is following their journey.
Yeah. I've seen you have an integration with over 600 carriers.
Currently, it's over 1,080 carriers. So we're
Wow.
always improving, but sometimes we don't update the copy on the website that fast. So yes, currently we support 10,000. Oh my God, 1,080 carriers
Wow.
from all over the world. And sometimes I
Wow.
even get those surprising messages like, "Oh, do you integrate with the courier guy? Like, which courier guy? Ah, that's the name of a carrier. I didn't even remember." No.
I didn't even know that there are so many carriers. So
Yeah, there are.
that's insane. And how does this work? So the shipping label I need to still print at my carrier.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we don't support. Currently we don't support creating the shipping labels. We just support tracking them from all the carriers all over the world. So essentially, you need the tracking number to enter it into the system, and then all the information is going to be auto-populated from the carrier itself. So we just have the integration with them. And the best part is that you don't have to enter it like one by one. We have CSV import. So let's say you're using some kind of system like ShipStation or some other shipping provider. You can just literally export all the information or do it through Zapier. You can just like tie the two systems with TrackMage and update the tracking number for each order automatically. And this way, all this information just automatically feeds into the system, and you have the emails configured. So the emails get triggered and they get sent to the customers on autopilot. So you don't have to touch it unless you really want to change the flow or change the wording somewhere. So it just runs and runs.
And now, you know that we are in, at least we are, so we have the problem the US people don't have. So we are talking about GDPR here in Europe. I assume that you are completely GDPR compliant or doesn't even play a role here.
Well, GDPR compliance is definitely a thing that we did. So mainly GDPR compliance is covering the actual users of the system as like e-commerce sellers who are signing up as customers. So we can definitely request to delete their account and delete all the data. So when it comes to the customers, we don't even really we don't have that data and it can be deleted by the actual customer themselves. So you literally just select all those shipments and you delete them. So the thing is, we don't store this information. We provide it in real time. And again, as you have seen probably, after some time, the tracking number itself expires. Yeah. So if you try to track the same shipment in like maybe 2 months, you might get like 0 results from the carrier. The best part about it is that we have a cached copy. So let's say the customer comes back in 3 months and still files a chargeback or something like that. You still have information like a stored copy. Like I know that it's like a very rare case, but still you have a stored copy of tracking information for that matter.
That's cool.
Well, yeah.
That's cool. That's important, I think, because when something happens and you can't get the details anymore, that's really bad. So if there's a copy back, that's cool. Let's talk a bit about your pricing.
Right.
You have 6-tier pricing plans starting from free forever, pro, enterprise, and all this kind of. What kind of research did you put into the pricing structure before you launch?
Well, when it comes to the pricing structure, we noticed that for specific categories of customers, the pricing literally makes or breaks this process. So if a customer is just starting, so when like they literally have no shipment volume, like they have just set up their store, but they still want to use the solution. It's unfair to ask for something like $50 per month, like our solutions do, to just integrate this into the store. So that's why we have a forever free plan for those growing companies. Up to 100 shipments are free, and then the business grows. The scale also grows with the business. So what we have is we're counting mainly on those brands that already have an established business and they have already a lot of shipments, and they just want to get those 5 to 10% extra sales plus less burden on their customer support. And for established businesses, around like 5,000 packages per month or something, like it's really a significant amount of money for nothing, really. Like they don't have to do anything. They just plug in the tool and that's it.
That's cool.
Yeah. With research, like the competitors, like, I mean, when it comes to pricing, it's the black magic, I think, because again, if you even just browse the market for pricing strategies, they like those strategists, they range from $500 for a consultation to like 15,000. Like, okay, yes, like, yeah. So we decided just to go with something and then iterate based on the customer feedback. So our pricing is based on what we have. That's what I would say.
Yeah, it's always interesting to talk about pricing pages. I mean, we have our own SaaS application, Spider, as the iPaaS solution for e-commerce. And I know that pricing for SaaS applications is always a fun topic. Yeah. So it's always iterations and changes and updates and changing things. So I fully understand that this is a hard thing.
Yeah, just one small note to add where we went with all-inclusive based on volume, based on shipment volume pricing. So when you are signing up for any paid plan, you just get all the features. It doesn't have to be very restrictive. So we don't, we don't store our API or custom domain for only enterprise customers. So you get everything. The only thing that we're interested in is making the business grow. And that's why we're constantly reaching out to all the customers and saying like, okay, guys, what other problems do you have? So that's how we discovered that there was another problem. Mm-hmm. So one of our customers, Metal Family, they are like a significant YouTube creator. And they launched their own cartoon series with like 1 million subscribers right now, or maybe 2 million already. I don't know. They're growing. So the thing is, they were struggling with people making typos in their emails. So literally, the person places an order, they make a typo in their email saying something like Gmape instead of Gmail. And then they don't get any notifications. And then they start reaching out to customer support, and we cannot even find like where they are in the system because like they made a typo in their email. Like how? So what we did, we created a script that is embedded in the checkout that actually like pings that email and checks if it actually exists and notifies the customer like, please check your spelling. It looks like you meant Yahoo, not Yahoo, or something.
That's really cool. I didn't see that before. So this is a really cool approach. And is this enabled for all your customers or can you? Yeah, that's cool. It's a nice idea.
Yeah. Like the only downside is that, for example, Shopify doesn't allow to embed any scripts on your Shopify checkout unless you're a Shopify Plus customer. So Shopify Plus customers, yeah, it's going to work. For just regular Shopify folk, like,
But the pricing is insane for those. At least for the startups. I mean, the pricing is absolutely okay if you're a grown business. So that's absolutely fine and a great thing. But the smaller ones, I know that's always a big problem that the checkout is not
but still, like for WooCommerce users, for WooCommerce users, for ClickFunnels, for other softwares out there, so like Squarespace, for example, you never have to worry about it because everything is customizable. You can edit it and add it. So that's just cool. Shopify just wanted to protect their users because again, it's their system. They have to.
You've been working with a lot of e-commerce companies all over the world. What would you say is the biggest mistake when it comes to the early days of the venture?
Yeah, well, this is like heartfelt pain that I feel when you're asking that question, because it's buying inventory before you have your sales going. Because a lot of businesses start like this, like, oh, I have an insane idea about this awesome product that I'm going to create. I go to Chinese suppliers, I buy like 10,000 units, then I store them in my garage, and then I don't know what to do with them because like they're not selling and the customers are not even buying. Like, oh, I sold maybe 3 units out of 10,000. And then that's how like the business started. They got a loan or something, or they got it from their family and friends. And then they are rich in product. They have like a lot of excessive inventory. And later there are some liquidation companies or some like discounted ways how you can sell it to distributors or wholesalers to just like kind of get rid of it. But again, this is not a proper way to start your business, because you need to first figure out like the messaging, the demographic, how you are going to sell, the unit economics. And the best way to do it is without buying all the inventory up front. So you definitely can strike some kind of an agreement with a supplier from either domestic country or from China or from other, where you will be actually doing the pre-sales and then buying it from the supplier after the fact. But at least it's a very good way to test the demand. If you will not be able to sell like 100 units, there is no point in purchasing 10,000. Really, there is no.
And this is the reason I often heard, and also in other podcasts for very successful companies, I often heard that they are putting up some pre-sales pages where they just promote the product and drive traffic there. I even heard from one podcast interview, they put up an entire store. They did the entire marketing for that, and did even the sale. Yeah. But on the checkout page, when it's about to be closed, they inform the customer that the product is not there and that they thank the customer for trying to purchase the product, and they will send them a coupon code when the product really releases, so they can get it cheaper, because they play the trick on them. So I don't know if this works or not, or if it worked or not. I mean, for the podcast that I heard where they presented the story, it worked. Yeah. And the customers were not angry, but of course the customer can be angry easily, but about something like this. But on the other hand, I need to fully agree. You need to know if the product is sellable or not, because you don't know it actually if you don't sell it. And putting the thing on stock before even one sale, that's a heavy risk.
I would say even further. So I heard about that example as well. So there is a neater way after you actually collect the money from the customer, you can back order that product. You don't have to ship it right away. You just say that like, okay, this is a back order. How about we ship it in like 4 weeks? If the customer actually wants that product and it's something unique, something custom that they want, they wait. Like no problem. For the customers, well, wait is not the problem. It's just that most of the businesses, they play this kind of secluded game where like, okay, you've ordered the product, it's going to ship sometime. Like not in 4 weeks, but like, oh, sometime in the future, expected. And this suspense actually drives people to press that like refund button on PayPal or somewhere else. Yeah.
And we are used to Amazon, where we know that the product is sent the same day, if possible, maximum the next day, and we have it in 2 days. So that's the thing.
Amazon is a very strong competition for all the independent sellers. But again, Amazon, like the downside of selling on Amazon, like is you have demand out of the box, but then you don't have the customers. You don't even have their email address to remarket to. You could send them something in the package to like, okay, like here is our an amazing guide or amazing something, but you sign up and then you get their email. But that's just like not all the customers are going to follow that path. So you will be losing.
I would be more than interested in sometimes to have the statistics on file, how much really read the attached advertisements of these packages. But I mean, I myself, I do not touch that. So I get it. I might just out of interest, I read it, but I seldomly do what there is on the package.
So the downside of Amazon business is that it's not your business, it's Amazon's business. And the downside of tracking by Amazon is that on that page, on their tracking page, they are going to be pushing all other products. Like it doesn't have to be just yours. So that's why most of the brands, the household brands, they launch their own store in parallel to Amazon. So Amazon is just like one venue, and the other venue is their own store and their own traffic. And usually when the brand grows, they don't even need Amazon later on.
Yeah. I mean, the question would be, what role, if any, does automation play in your operation? But I know the answer already, and I think the rest of the audience as well. I think it's one of the most critical things, right?
It is. Just going back to my previous experience as like a fulfillment center in China. So if we didn't have automation, we should have hired like maybe 10 people to do what we did single-handedly. Because automation also saves you from the routine. So what fun it is to like reply like, where is my order? Where is my order? Where is my order? Question all over again. Then you could be spending that time to brainstorm some like marketing copy or the next big thing, or reaching out to potential partners and doing something meaningful that actually drives business and drives business growth. Versus just, I don't know, handling customer support requests or some mundane operation stuff.
Yeah.
So, yeah, automation is the key.
Yeah, thank you. That's cool. Last question for the day. Who has taught you the most about e-commerce in your career?
Okay. So when it comes to the best person to listen to, when it comes like the e-commerce stuff, I guess that would be Nate Skyver. So I've been following him on LinkedIn for a long time, and he's mostly talking about the carriers, and but also like he's sharing so many industry-specific news. So e-commerce, like I literally understood more about the logistics, the e-commerce stuff from just listening to this person. He's amazing, I would say. So,
Cool.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. I really loved it to talk with you because it's a completely different thing, that the end of the story, actually, the tracking part, but it belongs completely to e-commerce. And I love the ideas, what you can do with just the tracking page, actually. I mean, you did the sell as an e-commerce company. You have a customer, you have shipped the goods even, but the tracking page gives you another option to sell, another option to market your brand, to make your customers interact with your brand, not even on the tracking page, but also with the email sequence and everything that is related and attached to your brand. And it just gives you a very good reputation and an option to upsell and to get reviews. So when you run a web shop, consider a perfect tracking page as well as part of your marketing game. And I think that's a final very good step before you really start the remarketing after a few months, to really get this done already with just tracking. Thank you so much, Irina.
Thank you so much.
Have a great time. And guys, don't forget to hit the subscribe button to the podcast, and more than happy to see you soon on the next episode.
And that's it for this episode of the eCom Ops podcast. If you enjoyed listening and would like us to find and interview more e-commerce operations experts, please search for eCom Ops podcast in your favorite podcast listening app, and then subscribe, rate, and review. Until next time.